Hello again, it's Susan from Stratus, and today we're talking about what your plan B should be as we get towards the end of the year. Perhaps you applied in round one, and depending on where you are now, you want to figure out what comes next. So let's think about a few different things. Have you been accepted into your dream program? You're done. If you have an acceptance to one or more schools where you're excited to go, that's fantastic as well. But perhaps you've come up short. Maybe you're on a wait list, or maybe you haven't been accepted anywhere. We're going to talk through 7 different things that you might think about as you come up with plan B. The first is to think about next year. The second, fix your fatal flaw. Third, try a different mix of schools. Fourth, do more research. Fifth, find other schools that will capture your imagination and maybe be the perfect fit for you. Sixth, consider perhaps a different program within a school that you're super excited about. Or finally, maybe the perfect program for you is not an MBA, but some other degree. So stay tuned as we drill down on those 7 different plans for plan B. If you have a very short list of schools that you're excited to go to, perhaps plan B is just to wait until next year. It's just plan A a year later. And that is totally fine. Maybe you love your job and you're continuing to learn and grow. Next year may make you a better candidate or a better applicant. You might have a fatal flaw in your profile or in your applications, and it might be time to address that. You can't change your undergrad GPA, but if your test score is not as high as it could be, maybe you revisit taking the GMAT or the GRE, or perhaps you even switch tests. Or if testing is not your thing and you have a really strong quantitative profile, look at test waivers for the next round. Other fatal flaws might be your English language skills. If that is perhaps an issue, make sure to double down on your preparedness to be able to understand, listen, speak, and write in English if that's going to be the language of instruction in a program you're considering. And finally, and this is possibly beyond your control, but if you reached out to your recommenders and they raced through writing recommendations for you in round one, you might want to revisit who you've asked to write recommendations and ensure that they are presenting the strongest possible recommendation on your behalf. Maybe you actually got in to a school or more than one program during round one, and that is a program that you're super excited about attending, but you want to shoot your shot at Harvard or Stanford, or perhaps a dream program that you never thought you had a chance at. Go ahead and submit your application, because I can guarantee you one thing: you will not go to any business school that you do not apply to. On the flip side, if you shot for the stars in round one and came up short, now it's time to reconsider. If you really want to be in business school next year, apply to some more achievable schools, ones that are more target or potentially even likely schools for you. But trust me here, there is no point in applying to a school that you do not even want to attend. Don't waste your time, your effort, or your money. And furthermore, don't waste the time of an admissions committee in reviewing your materials if you have no intention of attending that school. Area number 4, do more research. Perhaps you didn't really dig into the curriculum, the clubs, the culture of the programs that you were applying to. Now is time, and time is of the essence, to reach out to students and really understand not only what you hope to take from a school in terms of addressing your areas for development and setting yourself up to achieve your goals, but perhaps more importantly, what you are going to give to that school. How are you going to show up in the classroom? What sorts of initiatives or clubs do you see yourself getting involved in beyond the classroom? And what is the legacy that you want to leave for that community after your time in their business school program? If you fell short in round one, you might want to look at what we refer to as doppelganger programs, programs that are remarkably similar to some of the M7 programs, yet are much more achievable and perhaps have higher acceptance rates than the single digit acceptance rates at places like Stanford. So if Stanford was on your list and you really want to go to a school that drives entrepreneurship and innovation and is closely tied to the technology space, take a look at University of Washington Foster. If the case method is precisely how you want to learn, take a look at not only Harvard, maybe you fell short, but look at University of Virginia Darden, which also uses the case methods. We're going to leave the links in the show notes. Depending on where you are in your career and where you want to take your career in the future, it may be the case that a full-time 2-year MBA program is not the right answer for you. Perhaps the school that you applied to has an alternative format that would be a great fit for you. So if you're in New York, for example, and you came up short with a full-time program at Columbia and/or NYU Stern, both of those schools offer fabulous part-time programs in kind of flexible schedules that may meet your needs, but that may not be right for you if you're trying to make a big career change. If you're further along in your career and have maybe 8 or more years of work experience, perhaps a full-time program is not for you. Maybe what you want to look at is a part-time executive MBA program or EMBA program. Or if you are a mid-level executive and trying to take your career in a new direction, there are some fabulous programs at both Stanford and MIT that are full-time mid-career programs. So don't give up on your business school dreams just because you didn't land in a 2-year full-time program. Take a look at what else exists. And depending on the school, if they feel that you're a good fit for another format of their MBA program, they may reach out to you and allow you to simply transition your application that you've already submitted for evaluation for a different format program. Our final thoughts are along the lines of maybe the degree you need is not really an MBA at all. Depending on what your goals are, perhaps an MSF or an MPhil or a master's in data analytics or business analytics might be the right fit for you. Again, these programs may exist at some of the schools you've already applied to for business school, but maybe you just weren't the right fit at this time for an MBA program. This is often the case if you are early in your career or have really targeted goals that require technical skills that are not the main focus of an MBA program. So, regardless of where this journey takes you, don't give up on yourself. Wishing you all the best.